Following isn't about Ravens fans. It is what it is. The following is about the Ravens organization, which I know a lot of fans feel that they're a part of the organization, so I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of nasty things from Ravens fans after this, like Baskin is getting right now from a lot of nasty Ravens fans, or now a lot of nasty messages from Ravens fans after he had this to say yesterday about the Ravens celebrating 30 years of existence Sunday against the Browns.
I just think it's kind of horse, you know what, that they're doing this against the Browns. I understand that they probably wanted to do it in their season opener, but, I mean, did you really have to pick the Cleveland game to do this? Is that, I mean, you want to talk about just like poking the bear on something. And the problem I have with the whole thing is that I care, people my age care, anyone that rooted for the Browns more than 30 years ago cares. I just think it's a real move on the Ravens to do this against the Browns. Tacky is like the word I'm trying to use. I can't be alone in the way I feel about the fact that what a bunch of clowns the Ravens are. Yes, good organization. Yes, we love Ozzie for what he did in Cleveland. But, I mean, did they really have to pick this game to celebrate their 30th season? That's a giant middle finger to all of you. Classless. You couldn't have picked any other game.
I totally agree with Baskin.
It was awesome to hear it.
It was great to hear what he said. It was something we talked about when they first announced it. You know, this is a totally, as Baskin says, a totally classless move. The organization is holier than thou. They act as if they don't have skeletons in their closet. They do. Every organization has skeletons in their closet. The Ravens somehow act like they are immune to anything of any nasty things that come with the NFL. And when you get into the nitty-gritty of what they're doing, like my theory was, I think this is a giant bleep you to the people who have done their best. I think this is really a bleep you to the fans of Cleveland from the organization, not the fans of the Ravens, from the organization, because I think that they know that Canton, Ohio is obviously 60 miles away, 50-something miles away from Cleveland, and they have wanted to get Art Modell in the Hall of Fame when he was alive, then posthumously, and they also know that it's probably never going to happen because the voters don't want it to happen, because they also think that they know that any chance that they get that they see him on the board, people in Northeast Ohio, which are predominantly Browns fans, are going to boo their faces off. And the NFL doesn't want that look, and the Hall of Fame doesn't want that look because of the history. And rightfully so. If you can't make money in the NFL, I can't tell you how bad of a businessman you are. The people we call boobs in the NFL make money hand over fist. Jerry Jones, what did I do after that press conference after he traded Micah Parsons? I was like, oh, this is an even trade. No, it's not. This guy's an idiot. I can't believe he did what he did. Yeah, he's an idiot. He laughs all the way to the bank. What a moron. Can barely read or write. How much money has he made for himself and the rest of the NFL? Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions. And you can't make money as an NFL owner? What's that say about you? And let's not even start about what he did to the Indians with rent for many, many years that people do not regularly realize. And you can go listen to that. I'll give a shout out to another podcast, the Sable Brothers podcast. They did a whole expose on that with how Art Modell basically kept the Indians down for 30 years. But you look at who they're rolling out. Jamison Hensley of ESPN.
Oh, I thought you meant they're rolling out Jamison Hensley.
No.
I'm like, damn, they're really including everybody.
He reports Sunday's Ravens legend of the game, Ozzie Newsome. Honorary captains, John Moak, Paris Glendenning, Kurt Schmoke, and John Modell.
We got Schmidt. They got Schmoke.
They don't want that smoke.
30th season celebration in stadium entertainment will include special pregame recognition honoring pro football's return to Baltimore in 1996, and a halftime show featuring Ravens legends and mixed reality show on Ravens Vision video boards. So I think it's very, very, very personal from the organization of the Ravens to Browns fans as a giant FU to Browns fans.
Yeah, so they're saying that this had been in the works well before the schedule came out. They even had noted to season ticket holders that week one, there's actual, I don't know, online, they posted the documents. They said it's going to be week one regardless of who they play, and that was before the schedule. So people are saying the NFL is who you should go after here. Because if the NFL paired these teams up against each other, because we know what a logistical nightmare the schedule making is in the NFL, you've got to You've got to figure out all the dates and then worry about the teams coming back from overseas and all of that. Like, if that is true, that they were already telling season ticket holders like they were going to have this event regardless before the schedule come out, and then the schedule comes out and you see, boom, it's the Browns and the Ravens. Should you direct your anger at the NFL?
I want to ask you a question. The first time they went to London, remember you talked to those people in the bar and they happened to be in town? Mm-hmm. When did they know that they were going to be going to London? Wasn't it the year before?
It was like months in advance.
Yeah. So you're telling me that the Ravens didn't know when the schedule was coming out? At all? At all? The schedule may come out in May. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't believe that they didn't have any idea. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Well, I shouldn't refuse to believe it.
It'd be interesting to know,
I don't believe
when they get, especially the opener, right? Because this year we got no leaks. There were no leaks even the week of. If people knew that it was going to be the Browns like months in advance, you would have thought it would have leaked out, almost to rub it in further. Like, guess what? You're going to get the Ravens celebration.
So, like, if you said it and you go, you know what? We don't know. First ever one. If you were to do it even last year, maybe I'll find that out. Maybe I'll walk it back. I've had to walk back things before. But I believe it's a spit in the face to Browns fans because I think that they've wanted Art Modell in the Hall of Fame for a long time, and they know they're never going to get Art Modell in the Hall of Fame. So they want to have their celebration while it's with the Browns. I don't think that it's going to affect Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward or I know Denzel's from here. But
yeah, they're going to get extra fired up on behalf of Browns fans.
No.
I mean, Myles Garrett wanted out of the city over the offseason. Does he care? Probably not.
Well, it's also that, Jarvis Landry, I think if Jarvis Landry came back and was a dog pound captain, I think people would love Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry did not know, famously, that the Ravens were formerly the Browns.
Yeah, that was the line of demarcation.
Yeah.
Everybody after him, you're like, oh, man, if Jarvis, of all people, didn't know. My bigger question
from
now...
New Orleans, Louisiana, or maybe Baton Rouge. He's still from Louisiana.
Yeah, my bigger question now is, are they going to involve a guy who won a Super Bowl at quarterback for their franchise? Is Joe Flacco going to be a part of this celebration? Are they going to show deference to him? And is he, in turn, as somebody who that was the team that drafted him, the team that helped nurture him? I mean, yeah, they eventually got rid of him, but he did win a Super Bowl there. So is he going to be included in this? And how are Browns fans going to feel about that?
Knowing in the pregame?
Yeah, knowing how big of a game this is for the Browns. If Flacco is all smiles with his former organization, and could you blame him for being all smiles?
I won't blame him. His history is predominantly with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if he goes off and wins a Super Bowl with the Browns this year, I think we're going to have ourselves a conversation. But
that'd be fun.
There's a lot more things that could possibly happen that I would be I'd be less surprised about there. If they were to pull him out there, it's to me, it's just another stab. It's just another thing at us. Joe Flacco is really well liked here, obviously, but his history is in Baltimore. If they had to pull him out there for a pregame of here's some trinket of God knows what, who knows, they'll probably make something up over there. Here's some trinket of God knows what. Here you go. Thanks for the Super Bowl and the memories, and thanks for keeping Lamar's seat warm while he took over here. By the way, you're playing against him today, the guy that we jettisoned you for.
He'll get a standing ovation.
Of course he will. You won a Super Bowl there, and rightfully so. This ain't against the fans. I ain't mad at the fans over there. I ain't mad at the fans.
Well, Nick did call them fraudulent fans during yesterday's show. I did hear him say. He said Baltimore has fraudulent fans.
Why is that?
I think because they accepted the team, I guess. Were they supposed to reject the team? Are they supposed to all take it to a vote and say, we don't want a football team from somewhere else?
Well, I would accept the team.
Because I remember we thought we were getting Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I remember Triv came on and he was saying, we're getting the Buccaneers. I'm 99% sure. And not one fan was like, nope, don't want them. That's not right to take another team. Like, nobody cared. They would have all universally accepted them.
It's unfortunate. I would say, just like what they said in Baltimore.
World.
I've watched the documentary several times. It's really unfortunate for the people in Cleveland, but they got a team. And I would have said it's really unfortunate for the people in Tampa and St. Pete and that area, but we got ourselves a team. Thankfully, we didn't have to do anything like that, but still, I look at this as basically a spit in the face to Browns fans. Is how I feel about this.
Definitely.
And I think it's from the organization.
Here's what I want to know. Last thing, how many Browns highlights will be and lowlights will be in like their video montage? Because that's how you know they're definitely rubbing it in as much as they can. Like, are they going to show all sorts of Jamal Lewis against the Browns, 300-yard, whatever he had that one game. Like, is it going to be a bunch of those just to pour more salt in the wound?
216-474-0092. All right, would you be? Do you want to ask if they'd be upset if Flacco was included? I'd be mad at the Ravens, I guess, for making him be a part of that. Like, I'm not mad at Joe. Your history is your history. I respect you as a player and as a person. That's your history. That's your legacy. I can understand that. I want to know if people really care. If they still, like, I'm 39, you're 44. There's plenty of people like, you know what, they've lost for so long. I've had people get viscerally angry saying the real Browns are in Baltimore, which is nuts to me. On top of the Ravens' 30th BS, why on earth are they celebrating the 70? Why on earth are they celebrating the 75 Colts? That team moved. It's like the Texans celebrating the Oilers. It's ridiculous. Which our buddy Figgy down at Sports Radio 610 in Houston, Ed, he's from here. He just got wind. He's not. It's weird. He's a producer and he does a lot of podcast radio. He's not a big sports guy, and he works down in Houston. And he just got wind of this. He's like, man, this is like when the Titans do the whole wearing the Oilers thing
so
when they
to
play
me.
the.
So weird.
Yeah, and I said that's when this first came out. I go, that's exactly what this is. To me, it's a trolling of the fans. And I think it's a serious trolling because I don't think anybody ever putting Bud Adams in the Hall of Fame. Was there any argument for that? I don't think there ever was. So there's been a serious argument for art. And I think that this is a giant, okay, you're going to keep our founder who left in the cover of darkness. If you're going to leave our founder out of the Hall of Fame, okay, we'll get you. And I think this is their way of getting us. And then, but I do want to ask, because this is where I separate. I spoke to a class in Chagrin Falls yesterday.
Whoa!
At Chagrin Falls High School.
Hello.
And I told him that I am. There was like 50 of them, so I told them. And I've said this before in the air, and sometimes it's misconstrued. I like the Browns, Guardians, and Cavs. I'm a fan of them.
Those are my teams too.
Well, you know what? That's crazy. But when the Browns made the playoffs, and we embarrassingly but quite well knowingly got emotional when they made the playoffs in 2020, I didn't get emotional over the players making the playoffs. I got emotional for the fans. I am more of a fan of the fans than I am of the teams. Our relationship is closest with the fans, not with the teams. And if you don't want to fight that fight anymore, just let me know. Because I'm very defensive of the fans. I'm very defensive of the region. They're mostly predominantly Cleveland sports fans. So it's the people that get me emotionally involved. And this is why I'm strong, and this is why I think that Baskin's so strong about this. I don't think that this is any shot at Browns ownership or Browns front office or Browns players. I don't think the players on either side really care about any of this. But when it comes to the fans, yeah, they know that the Hall of Fame is in Canton, and I think that this is a direct shot by the organization. And that organization over there, we all have skeletons in our closet. We all know. I can't throw a lot of stones at a lot of organizations, clearly. But, I mean, that whole, we're the Ravens and we do things differently. Do you? Because there's a lot of different things. I mean, hell, just over the wintertime, people were replaying John Harbaugh's own words. I mean, let's not sit here and act like you're the 700 Club over there, guys. And the holier-than-thou mentality, the we do things differently, we do things better. Nah, you're just as seedy as every other NFL franchise. Don't act like you aren't. And then doing this, I think, proves it to a degree. Because I don't want to troll. I don't want the Brown. I'll troll Steelers fans all day. I'll call into Steelers radio and under Jim in Ohio or Jim in Youngstown and goof off all day because I'm just a carnival barker. You'll do the same thing, Tone. The Browns don't need to troll anybody else. I don't want the Browns to troll anybody else as an organization. I don't want that. Even the social media stuff, I go, it's social media. It's a 20-year-old doing it, but I still don't really want to get involved. I just think that this is an organizational shot at not even the Browns as an organization. I think it's a shot at the fans.
Is this, we talked about Flacco and how they'll incorporate him in any of this. Is this anything that Kevin Stefanski can use to fire up the team, or is it going to be ignored?
No, I don't think so. I think that.
So it seems like we're at a disadvantageous position then, because like they're going to be feeding off all that we already know how good they are at home, but that place is going to be going bonkers.
Yeah.
That place is going to be a big pep rally. And, our players probably, how many of them even care that this is the case? So does this give the Ravens even that much more of an edge because that place is going to be rocking the way it will be?
Maybe I think it gets the fans going a little bit.
Is there anything Stefanski could say or should say?
Yeah, but if you can get a turnover to begin the game or something like that, if your defense plays well, then I think that helps. I think that if you're Kevin Stefanski, you tell him the same thing you would in any other game, even though there's going to be a celebration before, is that it's a loud place. It's a college-like atmosphere. They are a loud fan base there. And you're going to have to make sure that we pay attention to every sign, every signal, covering up your ear holes and all that other stuff. I think it's the same thing as always. But I think that if you go and try to motivate guys from Arlington, Texas, about the history of the Browns and the Ravens, I don't know if it's going to necessarily hit. I don't know if it is, because it's professional football, and I think it's more, when you have more personal rivalries, I think that hits a little bit better. When you have Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph getting into it, Myles Garrett, there's a personal thing now with Steelers fans forever. There's a personal thing between Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and the Browns secondary for as long as they are members of these two teams. When it comes to the Ravens and the Browns, hey, if we were in AFC divisional round playoff games with each other over and over and over again, the way that the Ravens and Bills are, and so we'd be a bigger rival. But I don't think it's going to land. Ohio State, Michigan, I think you can brainwash guys in college. I don't think you can do it in the pros.
Should we get Steve Everett to march our guys out on the football field with his bandana?
I've heard worse arguments. I've heard worse ideas. 216-474-0092. I think Baskin has his number. Lou in North Royalton, you're next up on the Fan. Hello, Lou.
Hey, guys, I'm going to dispense with the pleasantries and the niceties today because I'm pissed AF. Yeah, I'm mad at everybody. I'm mad at the Maryland ain't nothing but a fake-ass state. Baltimore ain't nothing but a fake-ass city. And the fans are nothing but a fake-ass bunch of fans. I remember the day crystal clear, November 6th, 10:30 in the morning. I was sitting in my office in Hudson, Ohio, watching it on a frickin' 19-inch black and white TV, and that smiling fool, I can't even say his name. I hope he burns in hell, but I can't say his name. I almost, when they announced that he was going there, Glenn Denning was laughing. They're all over there thinking it was a big-ass joke, and I almost picked up my chair and threw it to that stupid damn TV. I'm pissed as heck, and I hope, and if Flacco's half of a man and has any cojones, he would say F you to that entire team and say, I'm not coming out, I'm not doing anything, I'm not acknowledging you people. They pretty much kicked him to the curb when that other fake-ass quarterback came in and took his place. And they will. The Ravens have the curse of that idiot that moved the team, and they will never win another Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson as their freaking quarterback.
Lou, thank you very much for the call. I respect the feelings. I don't want to say nothing about their fans. I don't think they have a bad fan base.
You will have to explain the jinx thing, the curse thing to me, because they do have two Super Bowls. So I think
I don't know about that. Well, I don't
think there's a lot of evidence of a curse. I don't understand
why there's there's an Art Modell curse on us. Why is there an Art Modell curse on us?
Why would we have to pay the price?
I don't understand it.
Should we get a Mike White curse?
Maybe there's a Mike White, but he's still. Well, Art Modell is still alive.
Have you seen one alpaca in downtown Cleveland?
No,
Mike White left.
I haven't.
Well,
they all left. They
that's the curse.
Fled the
I heard
city.
He sold that farm, by the way.
Oh, come on!
I know.
Ran that to the ground too.
After 2029, Justin Bibb, there's your future. Head on down to Newcomers Town. It's time for an alpaca farm. Josh and Elyria.
Just getting started
To feed the alpacas. Josh and Elyria, you're next up on the Fan.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Hi, Josh.
So I'm a 41-year-old Browns fan. One of my fondest memories is cutting my grandfather's seats out of Old Municipal. They're still in my garage. God rest his bones. God damn that guy's bones. I hope he rots in hell, and the day I give a bleep about what the Modell family or the organization over there thinks, I will have a tag on my toe. That said, our anger is valid. If you want to come after us as fans, go for it. That's only going to, quote unquote, help your case getting him into Canton. Good luck with that. That said, go Browns, F the Ravens, and good day, gents.
Josh, thank you very much for the call. I do. I think it's a low rent, low class shot at you, at fans.
It's just,
I don't like
when
it.
I asked you about the NFL, clearly the NFL.
You cannot tell me, they sit there and they say that the NFL, you can't tell me you can't redo plans. You cannot tell me you can't redo plans.
So is the NFL,
oh my God, you're telling
NFL
me
complicit
it's
in this?
that hard to fly in Johnny, hold on. You're telling me it's that hard to fly in Johnny Unitas, it's that hard to fly, and I'm sure the NFL actually loves it because there's passion for a Week 2 game. I'm sure they actually do. I'm sure they actually would love. You play this audio, I bet the NFL loves it because it's part of their entertainment factor. But you're telling me you couldn't fly in Johnny Unitas on another day, even if you did know, even if you didn't know, we didn't know that they were going to put the Browns in Week 2. You're telling me that you can't fly in Johnny Unitas in Week 3, or you can't. I don't know where Ozzie Newsome makes his home now. You can't fly in Ozzie in Week 3. It's impossible to have this celebration at any other time. Impossible. I don't believe you. I never will. It's a garbage move. It's a fraudulent, holier-than-thou franchise, and it's unforgivable to me. And of all the creepy, crappy things that have ever been done, this is the latest in the line of them.
But are you really upset at the fact that you think we might not be able to actually pick a fight here because they got the way better team, so we're going to come out looking worse no matter what?
Yes, part of that as well. Yeah.
Like if we had a team that could go toe to toe with them.
What's the line? 9.5?
No, it's
12.5.
12.5 is the line.
It's the biggest line of the week.
Part of that is that. Yeah, part of it is that. I'll admit, because I'd love to stick it to them, and I wouldn't even be talking trash about the Ravens fans. I'd be talking trash about the organization, and I'll continue to talk trash about that organization because it's ridiculous to me, and it should be ridiculous to a lot of people out there. And this is where I draw the line. Like I have several people who are around our age. Ken, I've been a Browns fan for a long time. The Browns have been terrible. I don't care anymore. I do. I care because of that sentiment.
I got to tell you,
I care because of that
social media,
sentiment.
I'm seeing a lot of that. Basically, we've had 30 years to get our act together, and it's on us that we haven't been able to do it.
But it is on the Browns. It is on the Browns.
So is that where your anger really is?
But who got it started in that direction? Who got it started in that direction? Who pulled the rug out from under in 1990 after 1994? Who pulled the rug out from under a playoff team? Who's the one who sat there and watched the stadium crumble that he owned and still wouldn't work with Gateway? Who was that guy? Who was that guy that I'm still yelling about years after he's dead? So obviously I'm going to continue to yell about the guy until I'm dead because we can't get our act together. That's on the Browns organization that they can't get the act together from Al Lerner all the way to now. That is on them. That is on them. But I cannot stand, I remember it, you remember it, the way that people felt. And it's changed this area and this fan base forever. Forever. And so I'm not going to stand by and allow that garbage to just, I have to watch it go on, but I'm not going to sit here and be quiet about it.
Yeah, I wish we could do something about it. There's not much we can really do about it.
There's nothing I can do about it, and there's nothing I'm going to do about it, because obviously that's a problem. But I'm not going to stand by quietly and just let it happen. Took one of the best front office guys ever in the history of the game, moved the team out, left us not knowing anything, tried to take the history with him. And now it's to the point where I get people yelling at me about, they're the real Browns over there. No, they're not. They are the Ravens.
Does firing Belichick look good now that we question his coaching?
No, we didn't fire Belichick. They fired Belichick.
That's what I said.
I don't care.
Another win for the Browns right now. Line has moved down to 11.5.
Whoa! Boom. Maybe they think that Stefanski's going to rile up the troops.
That's right.
The whole apathy thing is why I'm half mad in the first place. Patrick on the road, hello.
Hey, appreciate the passion and appreciate the conversation. I've been dreading this week. I lived in Baltimore for 10 years during their second Super Bowl run. It's really there's so many things wrong with the fact that this game is scheduled this weekend. That said, it's painful, like you said, Ken, because the Browns haven't gotten their act together. but it's classless. It really comes down to the fact that it's classless on a lot of levels.
Exactly. See, this is the thing. If it were a shot at the Browns, it'd be a shot at the Browns. Like, well, yeah, you guys can't get your act together. This is the way it goes. It's a shot at you, Patrick, okay?
It is.
It's a shot at the fans. And the fans aren't the ones that haven't been able to get their act together over the last 30 years. The fans have had their act together for 30 years.
And their fans having been there, every time I brought up the move when I was there and my frustration, well, at least it didn't happen in the middle of the night. And, well, you got to keep your colors. And there was always this justification for, like, it was okay that they did it because it happened to them. And, like, can you just recognize that this was also a bad thing, that you guys as a fan base are benefiting from a bad thing, and that it's something their fan base just they would not recognize. I'm like, you owe me a beer, like, for crying out loud. Why do you keep justifying this and they continue to justify it? Every fan I ever ran into justified the move, and it was just like there's no justification. It was a bad thing.
Again, I don't know if it were the other way around.
I'll tell you though, the more and more I hear you talk, Ken, it sounds like you're actually mad at the Browns because had the Browns have won 2 Super Bowls, you would not care. In fact, you'd use this as a rallying cry, even much more so. You'd be talking so much trash to Baltimore had we have gotten the Super Bowls and not them. And it's because of our incompetence, our ownership over the years, our front offices, our never-ending quarterbacks, kickers, and coaches. Like, I just don't think you would care about this nearly as much if we were a winning organization.
Absolutely fair point. That's true. If we had 2 Super Bowls, it wouldn't matter as much. You're right about that. Because when the guy leaves in the first place and takes the team, that's the start of the beginning of what we're in right now. And you are right. To watch fans many of which we've met, who have become friends even, to watch them become apathetic, it makes me angry. To watch players who have become friends of you and I and Owen, to watch them kind of just exist and not really have the type of legacies that maybe they should. And I'm not talking about Joe. Joe's a friend, but Joe's got that legacy. I'm talking about other players. To watch them just kind of exist and not have anything to show for it as far as legacy. You don't just play for the money when you're playing at that level and you play for that long. Well, yeah, it bothers me. It really does bother me. I can't deny that.